Hello and welcome to Story Time. Today our story time is all about hair. What kind of hair do you have? Is it long or is it short? Do you have curly hair or do you have really straight hair? What color is your hair? Hair can be all different colors and all different styles. And our first book is called The Hair of Zoe Fluffenbacher Goes to School by Lori Halsey Anderson. Zoe Fluffenbacher had one blue eye and one green eye and bright red hair that went on forever. When Zoe was a baby, she needed 2 strollers and 2 cribs and 2 high chairs, one for Zoe Fluffenbacher and one for Zoe's hair. When she was 2 years old, Zoe's hair learned how to open the cookie jar. At 3, her hair could turn on the TV, pour a glass of juice, pet the cat, and play on the computer, all at the same time. At 4, it learned to fly. Mom and Dad Fluffenbacher threw out the brushes and the combs. The hair of their Zoe was wild and beautiful. It was her sail, her kite, her flag. Zoe had Mrs. Broadhag for kindergarten. Mrs. Broadhag let Zoe's hair pick up the trash, erase the boards, and set the table for snacks at nap time. The hair was a comfort. Zoe had Ms. Trisk for first grade. Ms. Trisk didn't fool around. "School has rules," she said. "No wild hair in my class." Zoe Fluffenbacher's hair did not listen. When Ms. Trisk wrote on the board, Zoe's hair tickled everybody. Ms. Trisk set Zoe in time out. Zoe's hair drew all over the walls. Ms. Trisk took charge of the situation. "Big mistake. This must stop," shouted Miss Trisk. "School has rules." Miss Trisk demanded a meeting with the principal. Zoe's hair had to wait outside. The grown-ups agreed school had rules. That hair had to be tamed. Zoe tried a ponytail. It didn't work. Zoe tried braids. No good. Zoe tried scrunchies, barrettes, clips, headbands, rubber bands, bobby pins, and duct tape all at the same time. The class held its breath, and it worked. The hair stayed under control during spelling. A scrunchie broke during math, but the hair didn't move. 2 barrettes slipped out during snack time, but the hair didn't move. "First grade has rules," Miss Trisk reminded the class, and then she smiled. Zoe couldn't smile. It felt like all the rules in the world were sitting on top of her head. Miss Trisk started the science lesson. She held up a ball. "This is the sun," she said. She held up another ball. "Mercury orbits the sun." She picked up 3 other balls. "This is Venus, Mars, and here is Earth." She dropped to the earth. The class giggled. "First grade has rules," Miss Trisk reminded them. "No giggling." Zoe lifted her head off the desk. A bobby pin fell to the floor. 1 red strand of hair unfurled. Miss Trisk picked up 2 more balls. "Pretend that these are Jupiter and Saturn, and that all the planets are spinning and orbiting around the sun." Bam, bam, bam! Jupiter, Mars, and Venus fell to the floor and rolled into a corner. Ping, ping, ping! Bobby pins rained onto the floor around Zoe. "Oh my," said Miss Trisk. Snap, snap, rubber bands and scrunchies bounced off the ceiling. Barrettes, headbands, and duct tape rocketed through the air. The hair of Zoe Fluffenbacher exploded into the classroom. "I can help," Zoe hollered. "I know how to do it." Whap, pop, whoosh. The class grasped. Zoe's hair was loose. The kids grabbed their crayons and hid their scissors. Miss Trisk dived for the gerbil's cage. Zoe smoothed her hair and raised her hand. Please, Miss Trisk, she said, I want to help. Can I try? Miss Trisk nodded. Zoe's hair picked up Mercury, Venus, the Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and the Sun. The planets spin, said Miss Trisk. Zoe's hair spun the planets. As they orbit the Sun, Zoe's hair twirled the planets along their path. That day, the first grade students in Miss Trisk's room learned all about the planets. Miss Trisk learned some things too. My goodness, said Miss Trisk, that is some amazing hair. That's helpful hair. That's handy hair. Zoe Fluffenbacher had one blue eye and one green eye, and handy, helpful, amazing hair that found a place in first grade. The end. Our next book is called Hair Love by Matthew A. Cherry. My name is Zuri, and I have hair that has a mind of its own. It kinks and coils and curls every which way. Daddy tells me it's beautiful. That makes me proud. I love that my hair lets me be me. In funky braids with beads, I am a princess. And when my hair is in two puffs, I am above the clouds like a superhero. My hair even does magic tricks. One day, Rocky and I were playing outside when along came the rain. From large to small it went, presto, just like that. There is nothing my hair can't do. Today I woke up extra early all by myself. I was too excited to sleep. It's a big day. Daddy was still sleeping. Shh, I said to Rocky as we tiptoed past him. Lately, Daddy has been worn out. He makes me breakfast, takes me to school, goes to work, picks me up, and yesterday we went for a bike ride around the park. I think he needs a break. Because today is special, I want a perfect hairstyle. This calls for a professional's touch. Paws off, Rocky. Crack. Daddy heard the crash. Zuri, what on earth? He asked. I was only trying to help, I said. Daddy smiled. I can help too. It'll be a piece of cake, Zuzu. The first style was a big no way. The second was no better. No, Daddy. Then Daddy tried slicking my hair back into two puffs. Ouch! Daddy yelled. Wait a minute, Daddy said as he reached into the drawer and pulled out a pick. Ta-da! Daddy, really? I said. I'll be right back, he promised. Now, how's that? He asked, pulling a hat down over my eyes. Daddy, come on, we can do better than that. I really need my hair to be special. Don't worry, we'll figure this out. Then I had a great idea. Daddy gathered all the tools we need and we were set. Watching carefully, Daddy combed, parted, oiled, and twisted. He nailed it. Funky puff buns, pretty, and so much fun. Rocky approved too. I put on my superhero cape as the final touch to a perfect look. Where's my Zuzu? Mommy called from the door. She could not get in the house fast enough. Mommy, you've got to be the prettiest Supergirl I've ever seen, she said. And your hair is beautiful, Zuri. Who did it? I looked at Daddy and beamed. Mommy smiled. Very nice. Thank you, we learned from the best, Daddy said as he gave her a big hug. My hair is Mommy, Daddy, and me. It's hair love. Our next book is a really silly story about getting gum stuck in your hair. If that's ever happened to you, it can be really messy. This one is called On the Account of the Gum by Adam Rex. Oh, he went to bed with gum in his mouth, just chewing gum. That's the gum right there that you got in your hair. On account of the gum that you got in your hair, your dad said, "Sit still," and your sister said, "Duck," and you sat very still. Still, the scissors got stuck in the gum that you got in your hair. Okay, we went on some websites and all of them swear if you want to get scissors and gum out of your hair, you take 2 sticks of butter and smear them along. And I see. It appears that those websites are wrong. Don't give me that look. Your aunt said she knew how to get the gum out from the tip in a book she was reading about in the paper or something. She couldn't say where. The point is, that's why you have grass in your hair. Oh boy, what do you think is going to happen next? Your grandpa, who said that your aunt was mistaken, is mostly to blame for the noodles and bacon. It's all in his bacony noodly mass with the scissors, gum, hair, sticks of butter, and grass. Your rabbit eats grass. Because of the grass that you got in your hair, I assumed that your rabbit could help us there. But your rabbit just sat like it thinks it's a hat. So I thought, it'll leave if I bring in the cat. I'm prepared to admit that I was wrong about that. Oh, I know what to do. It's a little bit mean, but the cat always gets really scared when I clean. Just watch, she'll run off and hide under the bed if a vacuum comes anywhere close to your head. Oh boy. Wait, no, I'm thinking of the old cat. Your aunt just came back and she has a new take. It's cake. She thinks she can fix things with cake. Don't worry, we stopped her and showed her the door. I doubt she'll be coming around anymore, though the cake that she made you wound up on the floor. That reminds me, happy birthday. All right, let's get serious. This is the plan. We'll blow the gum out with a powerful fan. Plus, every few seconds, we'll pop a balloon. And the guy with the bees said he'll get them here soon. And oh, I hear sirens. The firemen came. They complained when we called, but they came just the same. With their hoses and one of those dogs and a cop and a big pot of chili. They're ready to... Stop! Get out, please. Okay, so they're all leaving. Geesh, rude. Look, the gum, said Dad. It just popped out of his hair. So that's the solution. Well, what do you know? Too bad about the rest of it, though. The rest of the stuff, that's still stuck in your hair. Whoop, now your aunt is all stuck up in there. How'd that happen? Anyway, you'd better get to school. Because otherwise, you're going to miss picture day. On account of the gum. Sometimes we have crazy hair days at school where you do your hair crazy on purpose. And this one is called Crazy Hair Day by Barney Salzberg. Stanley Birdbaum woke up early. Bald Eagle Elementary School was celebrating Crazy Hair Day, and Stanley couldn't wait. They had celebrated Pajama Day, Twin Day, and 60s Day. Stanley's favorite was Twin Day because he and his best friend Larry Finchfeather had worn exactly the same thing. Stanley was ready. He had rubber bands, he had styling gel, and to make his hair perfect, Stanley had 2 cans of Halloween hairspray. Stanley's mother knew just what to do. She wrapped, she dipped, and to make his hair perfect, she sprayed Stanley's hair bright orange and blue. "Ta-da!" said Stanley. "I am a work of art." "You are going to be late if you don't hurry," said his mother. Stanley rolled the rubber bands in his hair and gently tapped the tops of his spikes. "This," he said, "is going to be a day I will never forget." "I bet Larry Finchfeather and I will have the same crazy hair in the whole world," Stanley thought, and he walked toward the classroom. He heard his teacher talking. "And remember," Mr. Winger said, "Crazy Hair Day is next Friday." Everybody stopped. Everybody stared. Stanley felt sick. Larry Finchfeather said, "Is that a hairdo or a hair don't?" Everybody laughed. Stanley ran to the bathroom. A few minutes later, Stanley heard someone come in. "It's me, Larry Finchfeather." "The Larry Finchfeather who just made fun of me in front of the whole class?" asked Stanley. "I was only teasing," said Larry. "Some days you tease too much," said Stanley. "Mr. Winger said he wants me to try to be a peacemaker instead of a troublemaker," said Larry. "I'm supposed to bring you back to class." "I'm not going," said Stanley. "If you stay in here, you'll miss being in the class picture," said Larry. "I thought that was next Friday," said Stanley. "Crazy Hair Day is next Friday," Larry said. "Today is school picture day." Stanley rolled the rubber bands in his hair. He gently tapped the top of his spikes. "This," he said, "is going to be a day I will never forget." Larry Finchfeather suggested that Stanley try washing his hair in the sink. "It won't help," said Stanley. "Halloween hair color lasts for days." "Well, it really doesn't matter. It's only your hair," Larry told him. "If you don't come out of here by the time math is over, I'm coming to get you. You can't stay in here all day." It was very quiet after Larry Finchfeather left, and Stanley wondered if maybe he could spend all day in the bathroom. He ate his lunch. He drew pictures. He even timed himself to see how fast he could flush all the toilets. 32.5 seconds, he shouted. "A new world record by me, Larry Birdbaum." Stanley had counted up 121, 122, 123 drops of water from a leaky faucet when Larry Finchfeather came back. "Beep, time's up, let's go," Larry announced. "Picture time." "If I'm in it, I'll look like the class weirdo," said Stanley. "Remember 60 days when Mr. Winger had the flu but came in anyway," said Larry. "He said the day would be the same if we weren't all together. You have to come. I'll give you 5 minutes." Larry Finchfeather left, and Stanley Birdbaum thought about the 60s day when Mr. Winger had taught them all those great songs. He remembered on Pajama Day how everyone in the class wore PJs and slippers. Then Stanley imagined what his class picture would look like without him there. He decided to go back to class. To keep from being nervous, Stanley made up a song. Crazy hair, how I wish it wasn't there. Stanley felt someone touch his shoulder. I was just coming to get you, said Larry Finchfeather. What if they laugh at me again? Asked Stanley. Everything will be fine, Larry whispered. I promise. Stanley stood in front of his class. Everybody stopped. Everybody stared. Stanley rolled the rubber bands in his hair and gently tapped the top of his spikes. This, he said, is going to be a day I will never forget. They all did crazy hair just for Stanley. The end. Our next story is our last one for today, and it is titled Crown, an Ode to the Fresh Cut, written by Derek Barnes. When it's your turn in the chair, you stand at attention and forget about who you were when you walked through that door. You came in as a lump of clay, a blank canvas, a slab of marble, but when my man is done with you, they'll want to post you up in a museum. That's my word. He'll drape you like royalty with that cape to keep the fine hairs off your neck and your princely robes. It's amazing what a tight fade and high-low bald does for your confidence. Dark Caesar. Who knows, you might just smash that geography exam tomorrow and rearrange the entire principal's honor roll. A fresh cut does something to your brain, right? It hooks up your intellectual. You're a star, a brilliant, blazing star, not the kind that you'll find on a sidewalk in Hollywood. Nope, they're gonna have to wear shades when they look up to catch your shine. He'll lean you back in the chair, dab that cool shaving cream on your forehead, and then craft a flawless line with that razor. Slow, steady, surgical. It frames your swagger. The cute girl in the class across the way won't be able to keep her pretty eyes off of you. Her friends will giggle and whisper, "Girl, he's so fine." Yeah, that's what they'll say. The whole school will be seasick from the rows and rows of ripples. You'll have more waves on your head than the Atlantic Ocean. Shout out to my do-rag and Patience. There's a dude to the left of you with a faux hawk, deep part, skin fade. He looks presidential. Maybe he's the CEO of a tech company that manufactures cool. He's a boss. That's how important he looks. Dude to the right of you looks majestic. There's 1,000 of black angels waiting to guide and protect him. As soon as he steps a foot out that door, that's how important he looks. There's a dude standing in the mirror that can't get over the masterful designs crafted on the side of his dome. Everywhere he goes, people will ask for his autograph. He looks that fresh. He looks like he owns a few acres of land on Saturn. Maybe there's a river named after him on Mars. He looks that important. There are two dudes, one with locks, the other with cornrows, and a lady with a butterscotch complexion, and they all want is a shape-up, tapered sides, a trim, and a crisp but subtle line. And sometimes in life, that's all you ever need, a crisp but subtle line. When your barber is done, you'll feel like $1 million and some change. When his fingertips hit you with that apple green alcohol or the witch hazel, it'll sting, but not like a scorpion or hornet, more like an electric stamp of approval. And when you see the cut yourself in the handheld mirror, you'll smile a really big smile. That's the you that you love the most. That's the you that wins everything. That's the gold medal you. Every person in the shop will raise to their feet and give you a round of applause for being so fly. Not really, but they'll look like they want to. You'll see it in their eyes. It's the look your English teacher gives you as she hands you your last test with a bright red 97 slapped on it. It's how your mother looks at you before she calls you beautiful. Flowers are beautiful. Sunrises are beautiful. Being viewed in your mother's eyes as someone that matters, now that's beautiful. And you'll take it. You don't mind at all. Finally, he'll remove your cape, then swipe you down with a brush made from a golden horsetail. You'll put the money in his hand without even expecting change back. Tip that man. Tip that man. It was worth it. It always is. You know why? Because you'll leave out of the shop every single time feeling the exact same way. Magnificent, flawless, like royalty. Hello, world. And that is the end. No matter what your hair looks like today and from days in the future, it's beautiful. So have fun with it. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. Bye.